one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Once again, thank you for attending this morning's meeting of the Elk County Prison Board. I think for the record, I don't know if we've done this before or not. We'll go ahead and do introductions. Calvin, if you could start up there.
Calvin Moore, IT Director.
Chief Clerk, Elk County.
Rick Bauer, Elk County Commissioner.
Matt Fry, Elk County Treasurer.
Rick Brown, Solicitor. Morning, Matt Gleasonberry, Commissioner.
Scott Atwell, Elk County Prison Warden.
Jennifer Barnett, Warden Secretary.
Rodney Constable, Elk County Deputy Warden.
Bo Grove, District Attorney.
Todd Calderon, Sheriff.
Fritz Flecker, Elk County Commissioner.
All right, we do have a quorum. Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from May 7th, 2026.
I make a motion to approve them as submitted.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the minutes. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Jen, for getting this together for us. Next is additions to the agenda that you have for you. Any additions?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to, make a motion to add a brief executive session on legal matters. Wherever you want to put it on the agenda.
Okay. Why don't we add it in the end under business and before we go to the county. So we have a motion to add an executive session. Commissioner Gebauer,
I'll second that.
second by Commissioner Lecker. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Okay.
Where are you putting it at?
I'm gonna put it under after new business, at the end of new business. Warden's report, Clearfield County Comprehensive Treatment Center contract, Diagnostic X-ray Service Incorporated contract, and then I'll put the executive session there. That's all right. You okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. If comments from visitors concerning agenda items, there are no visitors this morning. Correspondence, none listed.
Real quick, Commissioner, I'm gonna make a motion to approve the agenda,
Okay,
so we have that record.
I'll second.
moved and seconded to approve the agenda as prepared with the added executive session. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you both.
Sorry about that.
No, that's good. Keep me track. All right, next on the agenda is the approval of the bills that you've seen listed before you. Are there any questions, concerns, or comments? Hearing none, I entertain a motion to approve the bills as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the bills? If not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Okay, now on to business. Item number 1.
Good morning. Thank you. As of 8 o'clock this morning, the total population at the Elk County Prison is 51 incarcerated individuals. For the preceding months of May, the average daily population was 53, for June was 55, and July was 51. Female population on a daily basis has been averaging around 14 a month. We are currently housing 13 female inmates in our facility, and we have 3 female inmates transferred out. We also have 1 male inmate transferred out for a total of 4 inmates that are out at other facilities. So far this year, from January 1st till today, we've booked 188 commitments, as opposed to last year, it was 192 commitments. We released 25 inmates in the last month and a total of 185 releases so far this year. The last several months since our last prison board meeting, we've had a lot of turnover in personnel. Several individuals resigned, retired. We've also hired a few people and promoted a few people, so it's been a busy time at the facility. I'll try to just give you a brief rundown chronologically. Back on May 29th, we hired a part-time corrections officer, Kent Forker. Kent's from Johnsonburg. Nice young guy, and he was subsequently promoted to full-time July 5th. So that's kind of unusual for somebody to be promoted to full-time so quickly, but it worked out well for Kent. On the 29th of May also, we hired part-time cook, Aloha Eklund. Aloha is from Portland Mills. She comes in to work in the kitchen on a part-time basis. Nathaniel Trush was hired as a part-time corrections officer on June 12th. He subsequently resigned his position on July 30th. Part-time corrections officer Kyle Cribbs also resigned his position on June 22nd. We had a sergeant leave. Sergeant Paul Bullers resigned his position June 30th. I believe Paul went to work for Fox Township, so it was a good move for him. Correctional officer Shane Fry was promoted to sergeant effective July 1st. That opened the door for corrections officer Sue Nearing, who was a part-time corrections officer, to be promoted to full-time status effective July 5th. That's only half the list. Senior Sergeant Matus, Brian Matus, retired from his position effective July 6th. And Brian had worked for the facility for 34 years and was a wealth of knowledge and experience. And we certainly hated to see Brian leave. But that was a good move for him. So congratulations to Sergeant Brian Matus. That left the door open for Sergeant Dave Washburn to be promoted to Senior Sergeant effective the following day, July 7th. Senior Sergeant has a lot more duties and responsibilities, and Dave has been doing a really, really great job, a really strong job with those extra duties recently. On July 7th, Haley Anders was hired to fill a part-time corrections officer position. Haley is from St. Mary's. On July 31st, Abigail Fallon was a corrections officer. She resigned her position. She moved on. She was with us for about 3 years. Abigail moved on to the Federal Bureau of Prisons up in McKean, Federal Bureau of Prisons up in Bradford. So we hate to see Abigail go, but we're pleased that she went on to improve her career. That left the door open for Damian Challingsworth, who was a part-time corrections officer hired this past spring, to be promoted to full-time status, effective just the other day, August 2nd. And finally, corrections officer Kara Antonuccio was part-time corrections officer. She's been promoted to full-time status, but that doesn't take effect till August 16th in the next week or so. So we've had a lot of movement, a lot of training. We had a few people leave us, and we're sorry to see anybody go, but that left the door open for other people to be promoted, and so mostly good news.
Where are you at, Scott, with your staffing right now, full-time? Are you?
Our full-time complement is filled.
Okay, how about, sorry.
Well, we still have, I guess we're interviewing. We have one vacant sergeant position. We've had 3 interested applicants. We interviewed 1 so far for that. We have another one scheduled for this afternoon and another interview scheduled for tomorrow afternoon. That's from within our full-time personnel. So we're conducting interviews, and I thought we interviewed one yesterday. It went quite well. It was a very good conversation. So hopefully we'll have that filled soon. And then we already have a person lined up to take that spot, that full-time corrections officer spot, whenever it becomes available within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Where are you part-time?
Part-time, we are very, very limited. We only have 2, 3 currently. We did an interview yesterday. We hired a young lady yesterday. I talked with Gary. We got our physical and drug test scheduled for next week. So we do have one hired. We have another interview today and we have 2 interviews tomorrow. So we reposted our ad looking for part-time employment, corrections officer appointment, and we got really, really good replies. And we've scheduled 5 interviews so far, 1 canceled. So we had 4 interviews scheduled just this week alone, and we're looking into moving into next week's scheduling. So
I don't think this situation is unique to Elk County. I think, Scott, you can probably confirm this. I think a lot of the facilities are struggling with manpower to keep like that.
that is correct. And we're finding we're interviewing people who are interested in full-time employment. I'd like full-time employment. It's a part-time job. How long will I be part-time? And that's always kind of a up in the air question. Fortunately, we've had, unfortunately, we had 4 or 5 full-time people leave our employment. But we've had people to move into that have worked for us for less than 6 months. So they all moved on. So good for them.
And how many part-timers are you hoping to hire here?
I'd like to get 4 or 5. 3 would be comfortable. Another 1 or 2. As we approach the fall, the hours are a little bit less available, but then we approach the holidays and then we get into winter. So it's just a tough time of year. I think we're through the worst of it. So we're very fortunate with our staffing situation, I think. Any other questions on personnel? Okay, thank you. The facility has generated $34,800 from housing out of county inmates so far this year. We've collected work release fees so far for 2026 are $11,098.42.
That's year to date as well?
Yes. We currently have 3 inmates on work release and most likely another one starting next week. We just got to get some finalized paperwork within the next day or so. So hopefully Monday or Tuesday he'll be going out to work. We've been reimbursed $6,179.24 from opioid settlement funds for the second quarter of 2026 for the purchase of MAT prescription drugs. And the facility also received $37.52 from the Department of Labor and Industry, Bureau of Disability Determination for medical records, research and compilation.
Is that year to date or just for the quarter?
That's just since the last meeting. We have a few other discussion items, I guess, I wanted to bring up. We talked about, between the commissioners and myself, a housing contract to house juveniles. I believe we were approached by Lawrence County with a proposal to house juvenile male inmates. I don't know the details of the progress of where we are with it, other than it is a facility where we could send juvenile males. I believe the rate is $600 a day, which, yes, seems pretty steep. I've talked to several other facilities, Cambria County and Wayne County, about how they handle it, and it's expensive as well. What I do see within the Lawrence County contract is that they do all the reporting, which is interesting to me. We have a certain amount of reporting we have to report to when we house juveniles. We have to report to PCCD on a monthly basis, and every time they come back for a hearing, we have to do a report. Lawrence County does agree to take care of the majority of that reporting while they're in the facility. They also will do the schooling and all those sort of things. So I think overall, it's a pretty comprehensive contract. expense is, of course, the talking, I guess. So wanted to bring it up this morning as something to, I guess, ponder.
What do we do now if we have a juvenile male intake? Where does that person go?
We haven't had a juvenile inmate, male inmate. My first instinct would be to call Cambria County, because they did indicate that they would house for us, but they did not give me $1.
And my understanding with this is that the idea is to get the paperwork in place and have everything teed up.
Correct.
So if
We got
somebody comes through the
Yeah,
door.
we got a juvenile male inmate, we would have an outlet for that.
That's scrambling
that
at the
individual.
last minute, trying to
Correct.
figure out where to house.
So at some point you would consider bringing that contract to commissioners for approval at meeting.
Yes,
So would you also get prices from Cambria and the other?
if you'd like me to, yes. To get more
So
information.
Cambria, you said that would be your first choice. Who did that? Is that because of they're closer?
Proximity, and we've used them before. And I don't think at that time, the rate was relative to what it may be today. It's been a few years.
So
Yeah.
we'll check.
Yeah, I would contact, and I spoke to Cambria County. They just haven't given me a dollar figure. But they indicated that they would assist us.
Well, ideally, I'm thinking it might be useful to have them both.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to be mutually exclusive. I take 2 contracts, have them both in the stable, so if one isn't available, you've already got the second one in the pipeline.
Correct.
So could you reach out to Lawrence County Board
Yes.
and talk to them about that price? Because Matt and I were at the Northwest County Commissioners meeting. When she presented it, made it sound like they're charging some counties like less than $200 a day.
Okay, yeah, sure.
180, 160. So I don't know what, so. Thing is, there's hardly any counties now in Pennsylvania that will house adjudicated juveniles. Juvenile direct file inmates that are under the age of 18 that are charged as an adult. Pennsylvania, it's the last time I knew correctly, if I'm wrong. In Pennsylvania, if there's 30, 40 different charges, that if a person under the age of 18 gets arrested for, they're automatically arrested and right from that point, treated like an adult inmate. So they're arrested, taken to the district judge, arraigned, committed to an adult jail. Makes it very complex for jails because there's laws out there that tell the jails, if you get one of these people in, you got to keep them sight and sound separated from every other male, from every other inmate in the facility, which is very, 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 very difficult to do for smaller jails like ourselves. So what's happening is there's a couple throughout Pennsylvania jails that probably see the dollar signs in this, and they have they have one wing that they converted and are dedicating to a juvenile wing. So that's why I think the price is up, because they can charge whatever they want to. Because when any other jail gets these juveniles, they can't house them. Legally, they cannot care for them the way that the law says you must care for them. So the only alternative is to ship them out, put them in a facility that can care for them properly. So if you can reach out to the ward, maybe you guys can figure out a different price.
Yeah, the other facility I spoke to, one of the other facilities I spoke to, only charges $185 a day.
Okay.
Right. However, you must reserve 5 beds at a rate of $145 a day for those each additional beds. So you're still paying roughly $800 a day. Exactly. We'll only charge you $185 a day for this inmate, but you must reserve 5, and I think it was 125 or 145 for those additional beds, just to hold them, just in case.
Probably to keep separate. That's their.
Well, it was just in case you need 5 juveniles at once, and so we're gonna charge you that. Even if you have one in, or if you have none in, you're gonna pay that higher rate
Right.
all the time. So Yeah.
$600 a day. We haven't had a juvenile for how many years?
A year ago.
Now, Lawrence County will not have, I asked, they will not have.
Right. Right, no, but
So this is the only thing.
Ward, is this board adjudication or after or both or what?
this is pre-trial. Yeah, it would be the entire,
They're automatically adjudicated as soon as they commit that.
Yeah.
so I guess I'll do a little more digging, try to get a little more information for the next board meeting to bring to you. I do have a contact in Cambria County and a different county.
Who is responsible for transportation for the juveniles? They're held, where they're held at?
Our sheriffs or our staff.
That-
Where?
If they're, I'm wondering, like, if they're held in Lawrence County, that's pretty far to bring them to court. So I asked who was responsible for transporting them.
Oh, it'd have to. Yeah, be us and work with the jail if we needed extra help, and we'd have to bring them back same day or whatever.
Like we did a year
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, we couldn't hold them,
I'm just curious.
you know.
So-
Which is why it would be good to try to get those hearings earlier in the day,
Right.
you know.
So I'll try to get more information for next time and update you as we go.
And it's good to know too that, government officials, they are very, very strict.
Oh, yes.
Very strict about if you held a juvenile for 5 minutes and they weren't held properly, you're gonna be jammed up.
Well, we were audited, every record we sent last time we held a juvenile was audited and looked over with the fine tooth comb proverbially. And he and I were back and forth on proper things. So it was a good experience. I learned a lot.
So in that case, this can just take us to another step. We bring a juvenile back for a hearing. There is no place to hold them until the time of the hearing. If there's like a couple hour delay before the hearing,
We've held them in our holding cell.
you hold them in your holding
Yeah.
cell?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, we did. We just can't leave them unattended.
right.
And that's part of the sight and sound separation. They can be sight and sound separation if there's absolutely no contact. But if you have another adult inmate walk through that area or get booked or come through that house, as long as they're accompanied by a corrections staff, then it's not considered a violation. But we learned a lot, so.
Right.
So Bo, to go down the rabbit hole, the female juvenile, was that the one at Northern
Women's
Sutter
shelter.
County Women's Shelter? Or where was that person held?
She was held in Department of Corrections at SCI Cambridge
SCI.
Springs.
Yeah,
Months only.
CI where?
Cambridge
Muncie.
Springs. Or was it Muncie? I thought it was-
Muncie, yeah.
she was the Department of Corrections. There's provisions that you can't find a jail, the only place that they have to take her, the state prison system has to take her. So.
but it took about 2 weeks.
Because there's no jail in the Commonwealth that would take her.
What did you do for 2 weeks?
Held her in a holding cell, staffed 24/7 with a corrections officer. Right there,
Right there. Hold on.
yes.
Back in the day, we used to be able to put a camera on, not allowed to do that anymore.
No, we had a staff member stationed right outside the door and we gave like free telephone access. We set up movies. It's something to keep them entertained and she did very well. Behavior was very good. So it worked out the best way it could.
Excuse me, so we wanted to
Yeah.
introduce this to the prison board today with the expectation that we'll put it on our agenda in December for formal action. If approved, the recommendation then would go to the Board of Commissioners for final approval with the contract. So-
For Lawrence of Cambria and maybe.
And whoever else, so we didn't want to spring that on you right now, but look at that as an action item probably for next meeting.
Yeah, the only thing I would ask Scott is, to find out from these individual wardens what their policies are relative to counsel speaking to the juvenile. Because if we have to pay someone, like conflict counsel, to drive to Lawrence County to see them, I mean, some of our county jails around here are not the easiest to get into to see inmates.
So
So,
they do like video, that's
yeah,
what it.
and if we could do video, that's gonna save the county a lot more money, travel time and expenses and court appointed fees and stuff like that. So,
You got it.
Do we want to save money, Pat? Is that a good thing?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, thank you, Bob.
yeah, I just know that like, there's some jails that are like around here, they're very difficult to get into.
Yeah.
And there are times they're certain, and if you're traveling there, it can be a while, so.
Good point.
Yeah,
Can be-
sound good.
Why are they difficult to get into? They don't want you in there?
I mean, like, for example, I went to a local, I'm not gonna say the name of the prison, but a local prison when I did defense work, and they wouldn't let the state trooper take in a pen. So they gave him like the insert of the plastic pen, which is not how it is at the Elk County Prison, so. It was just very difficult to get in there. And you had to wait a long time, and the whole time you're billing for it, and, you know.
They just didn't make it easy.
No,
And that, little times in prison count times and that.
Yeah.
Gotta work around.
Sounds good.
so.
Okay. Next thing is, we had our, IC Solutions inmate telecommunications provider installed tablets, if you recall. Been a few months since we talked about it. We kicked off late May, right around Memorial Day. There was a learning curve to it, of course, for the inmates, for the staff. I think it's very hands-free for the staff. The staff don't have to do much of anything, except at the end of the day, they gather them and put them back in their charging station. I think I extended the opportunity for you guys to see the tablets, and I know a couple of you guys came down and checked them out. They're very well received. We have not had any damage to any of them. We got all 70 of them and they're in use. We've had, we don't really know revenue from this yet. They generally bill several months late, so we don't have a revenue statement for you at this point, but we will in December. One of the things that I thought was interesting is there's a learning platform on there. There's an educational platform called Edovo, and there's several hundred courses that the inmates can take, and they can print out, we can print out a transcript and a kind of like a little diploma of course completion. And I just picked 2 inmates, and if I looked at all the grand scope of how many hours the inmates are sitting using their tablets for educational purposes, it would be 1,000 hours. But I picked 2 inmates just the other day, just to present to the board. We have one inmate since the end of May who's done 129 hours of education on this. Took a personal finance course for an 8-hour class, completed it. 4-hour Rebuilding Your Life online course for justice impacted individuals. Building your technology skills, just shy of 8 hours. Introduction to AI, an 8-hour course, and passed all these courses. And we can get a printout, and so can they. It tells them how many courses, and there's some that they've taken and quit. You know, there's some that maybe don't interest you. Another inmate has a total of 99 hours completed managing your career, daily habits for effective people management, psychology 101, a 42-hour course.
Gonna get your head around.
Completed. So it's not just the communication aspect or the back and forth phones and visits, things like that. There are other things that they can do with these tablets. And I didn't think it would be used, but it is. And we don't even see it because they're sitting quietly in their cell or in their bunk or in the day room area doing their courses. And I thought that was really interesting. And we've had 100 different users in these classes since May. I just thought that was one of the good things.
Is there a test at the end of those courses?
Yes.
There is.
Not all, I don't know about all of them. There are literally hundreds of courses. Kim Kardashian has a course on there. It's a business. So I thought that was interesting. I wanted to share that with you guys. And then finally, from my report, I guess, our Department of Corrections inspection is scheduled for this coming Wednesday, the 12th. I think we're all basically already, I sent, Rodney and I sent all the files in. They want dozens and dozens and dozens of files that we sent in early July. So they have everything that they need on the file end, and they're going to come through and do a facility walkthrough on Wednesday and do their little check marks, and obviously looking forward to it being completed.
So always a stressful time when that occurs.
It is always a stressful.
Very stressful. They make it very stressful.
Yeah,
And if you get a good mark on this one, you get to skip next year.
correct. It'll be every other year.
Good luck.
Thank you. And we are currently hiring for part-time corrections officers and a part-time cook. I want to throw that last bullet in there. And that's all I have as far as my report. Seems like a lot.
Any further questions for the warden? What about the Clearfield Comprehensive Treatment Center contract?
Well, yes, that was number on the agenda there. In short, I'll try to keep it short. We had an inmate come to the facility on methadone. Methadone has been very restricted over the years. Clearfield Comprehensive Treatment Center is the methadone clinic in Clearfield. They provided us with the medication. They brought it to us, dropped it off, and would do so again next week. They would leave us a week's worth at no charge. A couple days later, we got another inmate in. A couple days later, we got another inmate in. So we were at 3 inmates on this medication. And that's where Clearfield Comprehensive Treatment Center said, okay, we're not going to do this for free anymore. We're going to charge you. It comes out to a rate of $17 and something a day. Where is it? I forget the exact dollar amount. $17.85 a day, $125 a week. They will bring it to us and deliver it to us. We met with the director. We met with the president of the company. He came and did a pitch with us, and the doctor, Dr. Castellano, thinks it's a great idea. Since that time with those 3 inmates, we haven't had any need. So it hasn't come up. But they were able to drop this contract. I sent it back to Rick Brown for review. He had a few corrections he wanted changed, so we made a few alterations. And so I bring it to you today in hopes of approval. We can get it. It's a good thing for the inmates that come in on that particular medication. Prior, if we had a inmate that required it when our doctor ordered it, we had to transport them. We've done it before. The sheriff's office has done it before. It's very,
Every day,
it's time consuming.
What?
Transport the inmate.
Methadone clinic.
Correct.
every day.
So, so this is just for, they'll deliver methadone
Weekly. Bring us a week's.
treatment,
Yes,
meds, whatever.
yes,
And this is only for when we have a methadone
correct.
addicted inmate.
Yes.
Okay.
That's it.
Opioid here.
So,
They're addicted to methadone. too.
the opioid funds could probably pay for that.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, because it's methadone strictly treatment for, opiate problem.
And why can't Castellano provide that?
I believe he's not licensed to do it, or he doesn't want to.
It's very
It's
controlled.
Very controlled.
Very controlled. Before, years back, we were taking a pregnant female inmate that was on methadone to Cranberry Township every single day for, her methadone dose. Pittsburgh, every day.
So is this for just methadone or opioid?
Just methadone.
Just methadone,
Specified there be no other
but just. for-
buprenorphine, Vivitrol, Suboxone, just
Methadone is the
methadone.
legal.
Our doctor manages all the other
takes
medication.
place of the illegal opioid. It maintains the person's.
So they give them the methadone itself.
Yes,
Okay, duh,
and
okay.
it's like.
And there's no, generally, there's no step down because it's painful and it's supposed to do no harm, so they really don't step it down. It's up to the individual to do that.
So we get to pay for their methadone.
Yeah,
mix.
yeah.
Drive them to Cranberry Town.
Well,
while they're
well,
pregnant.
not anymore. Right now they go to Clearfield, but they used to have to go to Cranberry Township.
Right.
So the pregnant ones, Scott, pregnant females, do they gotta go to the clinic because they're pregnant? No, they can
Still
still,
bring it to us.
okay.
It became an issue overnight. We never needed to worry about it, and then we had 1, 2, 3 all in the same 10 days.
With the pregnant females, that's more, the methadone, more for the fetus,
Methadone makes them to function normally. Yeah,
I guess it's just like any other MAT drug out there.
Correct.
The person undergoing treatment has the choice of, well, do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? No, I'm gonna go do methadone every day versus maybe Suboxone or the injections, what's it called, Vivitrol?
Vivitrol or Sublocade.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's good for like 30 days, but that's like what, 3-4 grand? That's pretty expensive.
1,500 generally, it's expensive.
So basically, the way I see it, the cost that they're gonna be charging us is definitely going to be a lot less than the transportation costs, the labor of getting them there, the gas.
Absolutely.
Losing staff.
Yeah, so, and it can be reimbursed.
Correct.
Under the, opioid trust.
This is a good thing. In my opinion.
So it's gonna be your recommendation that commissioners approve
Please,
that?
yes.
Will you or someone from your, department be at the commissioners meeting?
Yes.
Okay, great, thank you.
Which
Yes.
is,
Yes, it's on your agenda and I plan to attend.
Yep. Here. Okay, who's gonna talk about this one? Thank you.
so I guess do we need a motion from the prison board to pass that recommendation on to the commissioners? Please, I'll make that
In terms
motion.
of operational, I think it's good for the inmate.
I'll second the motion of Commissioner DeBauer.
Thank you.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Excuse me.
Thank you. Next on the agenda, the diagnostic X-ray service contract. We were contacted by Physicians Mobile X-ray that they were going to drop us as a customer or as a client. We weren't using them enough. We were only using them on average 12 to 15 times a year, where they come in and do a mobile X-ray, ultrasound, EKG in the facility, and then they send us the results. They were going to drop us. They were actually very decent about it. They gave me the name of another agency up in Erie, Pennsylvania, Mobile Imaging Services, Diagnostic X-ray, I'm sorry. Up in Erie, they got back to me. They created a contract. They will serve us. Of course, the rates are a bit higher, more like double, but at least they'll be able to come in and do that service at the facility. I spoke to the sheriff about it. The discontinuation of the contract and searching for a new contract. So Sheriff, you were aware. I think it's a good thing. Again, it's less travel. It's less inmates out on the road. It's less staff out on the road. With Physicians Mobile X-ray, we called and they came. They were usually there within hours and we get the results quickly. It's almost like one of those, you get it now, just, once they read it, it's fast. So, I would ask again, Rick Brown reviewed it. I would ask your approval on the diagnostic X-ray service contract.
And is this on an as-needed basis?
Yes,
When we can't transport an inmate or don't want to transport an inmate to a medical facility or?
yeah, we will just generally not transport for an X-ray, an ultrasound, an EKG, a Holter monitor, things like that. We just won't. I mean, we will if it's an emergency. But if it's something that our nurse doctor decide we can call in, they'll call in, and they're generally pretty quick. It saves a lot of trouble.
It's always a risk to look at these, but then the hospital, these things, it's a matter of hours.
Yeah.
Sitting there.
Scott, the price you're charging, that's the approved PIMIC price too?
Yes. I also sent that to PIMIC
It
for
won't be
review.
marked down.
No,
That
it is a flat rate.
Okay.
It's more expensive, but what is it these days?
Cost management approved it.
Yes.
And another tough question, how often do you use these kinds of services?
Last year, I think we used it 12 times. The year before was 14, 15 times. So not that frequently. That's why the other agency felt they were actually losing money on us. So, and rather than create a new contract, they just. What's the duration of the contract? Oh, I don't recall that.
1 year,
Is it?
automatic renewal.
Oh, 1 year with an automatic renewal unless otherwise canceled.
So we have a motion and a second, right? We have a motion and a second.
I was still talking.
Yeah, I'll move.
Sorry.
Moved by Sheriff Calderon,
I'll second.
Second, Commissioner Bauer, any further discussion? Not all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. That's it.
I believe that is
All
it.
right, fantastic. So now we'll just need a motion to enter executive session.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded, we stand in executive session. Calvin will need to ask you to excuse yourself if you stop the video. Jen, it's up to